The lane has finally stopped, but the track is literally idling. It's the biggest gamble of the season. Norris will fight for his hand at the championship. Lando looking to extend further. It's Norris will 30 Lando.
It's a Saturday showdown. Anyone fancy some hot laps around Interlagos? It's qualifying day here for the São Paulo Grand Prix.
Here we are for the Brazil long plan, but first we're gonna see the weather. It is raining on Sunday. What is going to happen for all of us? Let's find out before it's qualifying. Well, we're gonna get ready to crack on to the São Paulo long plan qualifying now, but first we must talk about the Singapore long plan, so let's do that first. Here we are for the Singapore long plan. In the previous race where Danny ended up qualifying all the way dead last, unfortunately, but here the pre-performance chart before the Singapore, as you can see, we still haven't managed to bring any upgrade, and here is the Lava standard with Lando Norris leading the championship 5 points with Leclerc shut in play. That is what it is before Singapore was finished, but of course we had a race flag in this race as well, and we are still last. But here's another performance upgrade that was after Singapore, things started looking up. We are hoping going to São Paulo there will be a chance to fight for a point between the happen, and of course the result of the Singapore, we can see Lando Norris had ascended further in the championship by 21 points. Leclerc has lost a bit of a round. Oh, it was what can we do? What can we do? Please return. No, this is the final one. And we are tracking on to the final run of the 2-1. Still no improvement, but here is the head-to-head between Danny and Behrman, with Danny leading with 9 quality results ahead of Behrman, and Behrman sitting on 4. This shows the differences between them both, but toward the second part of the season, they started to swing more to Behrman. 5 thumbs up. But it's not going to be enough. Bump the wall. 17 is better than BP22. Right, yeah, it was 22. But my God, and we are 17.
Formula One returns to Interlagos once again with the stage set for what promises to be another classic São Paulo Grand Prix. Sebastian Vettel famously clinched his 3rd championship here in 2012, and just 4 years later, Max Verstappen treated us to one of the finest wet weather drives of all time. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Lando Norris put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And starting next to them is George Russell. As we continue through the rest of the grid today,
as we are now waiting for everybody to shuttle in, I want to quickly talk about the head-to-head race result between Leclerc and Lando Norris, as them both are the championship contender, with Lando Norris 7, Leclerc 6. The Lando got a bit of a leverage, but here's another one head-to-head between Behrman and Danny. Very similar to the qualifying result. Them both are now on 9 for Danny and 4 on Ollie Behrman. So we're going to see what happened for this São Paulo long point, of course. It's raining. It is raining. Don't need to change anything but this. Wrong way. This. All right, we're going to line up to the lid. Let's hope we'll have a good start. And maybe score some points. Desperate for that, let's be honest. Alright, here we go. As we now waited for 5 red light for the São Paulo long plan go underway. I don't know who gets off a pretty good start with George Russell behind in second place, and Max Verstappen has lost his place to Kimi after yellow, but we can see the live timing with Danny driving a move on the outside of turn 1 into turn 2, made the contact I believe, and now directly behind to both Audi and now can see either Hadjar, who it was in with Hamilton fighting away against Alex Albon for the P8, and Hamilton on the inside can he get par on Alex Albon or not. Albon to try to hold on to everything he possibly can to try to get ahead of Lewis Hamilton, but it's not the case. Hamilton remaining ahead of Alex Albon, and we can see Danny now going for the move on the inside of Borton Leclerc as now tries to attack Nico Hülkenberg, giving some space as much as he can, with Borton Leclerc now back down behind of Danny, and Danny goes for another one again on Nico Hülkenberg on the inside, and it is side by side, and bit of a wobble for Danny as it now behind Nico Hülkenberg, with Bortonetto hot on his tail, and Bortonetto goes for the move on the inside of Danny, because Danny gone a little bit wide, which is not good for Danny if he won't try and make some early progress. It is absolutely down like pouring rain. It is going to be carnage at Dallartina, with Bortonetto is now ahead of Danny, and Danny is now under the by Lando slow, but he's still the main ahead, but gone a little bit deep, which is not good. Now on board with Lando Norris as we far forward into sector 2 of lap 2. Lando is still in the lead with Short Russell behind in second place, and I'm telling you now, with Charles Leclerc's situation, it is not looking favourable for him to try and get his third world championship. What can Charles do? We're now in lap 6 with the Piat that's chasing after of Max Verstappen. Then the Piat that fires away par, and of course the Piat which seems to be doing his job as a defending driver for Lando Norris to keep Charles Leclerc at bay to make sure he doesn't score any more points than he is on right now. And we're on board with Fernando Alonso, who's behind Ollie Behrman, tried to find his way past, and Ollie Behrman, oh no! Ollie Behrman spun the tire! Oh, that is not good. That is not good. Any damage on his fan wing or not? Definitely got a bit of a bad flat spot on his instrument tire, and it looks like there isn't any damage on his fan wing, so that is very lucky for Ollie Behrman. And we're on lap 10, headed to lap 11. We have got a situation for Danny as he smashed into the ball. This situation here, he got a fuel issue. Seems like there's a fuel issue going on there for Danny as he now defending again the launch slow. Oh, launch slow spun! With their contact between Slow and Danny, I don't know. We didn't manage to see it from a proper angle, but from what I can see, may have been. But oh my god, what a dramatic part of this race has happened. Ollie spun, launch slow spun. Absolutely big carnage, and here's a replay of what happened with launch slow. Had he on the outside of Danny headed into turn 1. There's the contact before into the corner. There's the spin. But it seems like his contact spin, more like contact than not the control of the car. I don't know. I'm on board with Fernando Alonso, who just on par on Arvid Lindbrand. Arvid Lindbrand is slowing down. There's the issue with the racing ball. Oh, that is a shame for Arvid Lindbrand, and Ollie Behrman is back in the party. Remember where he was when he spun the car, it was far back, and now Joy back in, and that is all because of his teammate Danny. And there's the vertical safety car. There's the vertical safety car that could help Danny big time at the fuel. It's the issue for him. I think it might be linking or something, I don't know. But he can take the opportunity to try and salvage for some fuel to make sure he finishes the race. We're now on board with Lando Norris in lap 12, now tracking on with Russell Verstappen at the end in third, with Max Verstappen still the main in the fourth, with Piat with fifth, and Charles Leclerc in the sixth place. It seems like there's a leeway battle for the people and the fight between Fernando Alonso and Danny, and Danny now having to try and fight it which he did to himself ahead of Fernando Alonso, and there's a lot of issue going on for the Haas. Unfortunately, we need to see if they can fix any of this, because they do not want to carry over this issue whatsoever into next race, and there's more battle between Fernando Alonso and Danny. Oh, contact there. There's the contact between Fernando and Danny, and Fernando Alonso tumbling down the order as he lost 2 places after the contact. Again, the Danny and now on board with the Piastri heading into lap 14. Still chasing after Max Verstappen, but still not got there, and so has Charles Leclerc as he stuck behind with the Piastri, and we're now on board with Pierre Gasly. It's now looking to make a move on the inside of Danny. Can he get there, or will Danny do a good job? And he's bought down. Who has gone off the track. That is a lock up for foul. Bottas, that is a shame. Very big shame for Bottas, and now on board with Lewis Hamilton heading into lap 16, chasing off for corner side. Tried to fight it with and Hamilton. Oh, hang on! Shy spun! Shy has just spun. Oh, there's a contact. Not a big deal, but that is a bad one. And it's Shy now behind Hamilton, and he slowed down his teammate big time, and he also did slow down Lewis Hamilton as well, as he's now 13 seconds behind Charles Leclerc and on board with Danny, who now doing defensive against the Pierre Gasly on the outside. Gasly made the contact with Danny. What? Whoa! There's a contact between them both that is not looking good for Gasly. What the hell? Oh yeah, there's a bit of a temper going on for Danny, as he had to deal with Gasly, a bit of a active move. I don't know what happened there. It seems like maybe a bit of a snap of oversteer, understeer maybe, but that is not right to do anyway. And Lance now going for the move on Danny on the inside. Fantastic overtake from Lance. Wow, good job from Slow man to get by on Danny. And now here's a replay of the incident between Gasly and Danny. As you can see, Gasly on the inside. Ooh, that's a bit of a controversial one. No penalty, by the way, for Gasly, but that should be a penalty straight up if that was a little bit dirty. Let you know there is a fuel leak in your car. Keep managing the fuel, we're nearly there. Then, unfortunately, it has already about we have the fuel leak. We have the fuel leak. Unbelievable. I think another poor return for us once again, unfortunately. As it is a confirmation there is the issue with Danny's car, unfortunately for him, which starts because he's been a struggle throughout the second part of the season. No point story, by the way, and now it's a steam map. Piastri is in with Charles Leclerc also in this lap. Charles Leclerc needs to try to get moving quickly, get by the Piastri and Max Verstappen, but it is going to be a hard work for Charles Leclerc, and it's just double stop for Ferrari, and Hamilton popping in as well with either Haas and one of the Williams driver. As we're now on board with Danny, I think now on the straight line, overtaking Hulkenberg. He's still on Incheman Hulkenberg on a hard tyre. That is a bit cool because hard tyre doesn't do good on a track that's a little bit rare. And here's the evidence. Danny goes for the move on the inside of Qualifer manager though. I'm willing to go one more lap.
Okay, remember to pit this lap.
I'm sorry. I was gonna go one more lap, but I thought maybe that is too far fetched. Hop in medium, and we're gonna have to save again, because like I mentioned just a minute ago, there's no fuel, because the fuel is linking. The fuel is linking. Just ridiculous. As we now got Fernando, who locked up? Fernando locked his plane. So Pierre Gasly, and Gasly now gonna move up a couple more places down to Fernando, and of course with some drivers who have booked it for a darn push slow. It's now coming out the same as Danny, and Danny's gonna come out and he's gonna be joining into a party and he's gonna see what he can do. And also Danny is on the medium tyre, by the way, as it's now going for the move on the inside of Bottas, and it's now chasing off at Behrman. Oh, bloody hell. And there's a bit of a wobble there for Danny, but it didn't stop him as it now really going for it. He tried to get a part on Behrman as he tried to get his hope to move up any chance he can as it's gone down the inside quite far back and he's lower up into P90 and now chasing off at launch low at the far forward into sector 2 and it's on the inside of launch. Now Danny is on the move big time and we're now on lap 21 with Piastri, who is now in the back door with Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen is the head of P4 trying to hold up the behind for as long as he can. And we now got Danny on the outside of Liam Lawson as it now low to move up into P15 with the fastest lap on the table for Danny. The medium tyre is looking really good and the fuel seems to be getting better for Danny as he's definitely pushing big time with Hamilton, who's on the move on Albon. Lately asked from the cameraman and we now finally see Hamilton lower officially on and Albon, but now heading into lap 23. It's time to see what Norris will do as he's chasing after Lando Norris as he wants to take another win of the season and he's set to win in a Brazil as he won there last time out in 2022. Norris on the inside and he's lower ahead of Lando Norris. Norris will lead the Brazil long point. Wow, what a move from George Norris. He finally mounting up after winning in Monday and he's now looking to try to get a second win here at Brazil with Kimi Attielli now joining side by side with Max Verstappen. Attielli is losing a little bit of a pace and behind, which is Piastri tries to make a move on Max Verstappen and it looks like Piastri does not do as it's now behind of Matt, and Matt is now chasing over Attielli, but what can happen between them four, which does the Charles Leclerc still got a chance. I'm now on board with Danny heading into lap 24, chasing off at Gasly and Alonso, and he's looking to make a move. Yes, he is far back on the inside, sent it in, and it's now low on the pure Gasly. Well done to Danny. Beautiful. That's the karma which weeded out Gasly for what he done to me. And now on to the final lap. The final lap of the Brazil long run begin now, with Russell still in the lead and it is centering the gap to over almost 3 seconds. Russell is on fire now and Lando Norris got nothing again to short Russell, but of course the championship situation, Lando Norris is going to be ascending it a little bit more further ahead of Charles Leclerc, but Russell definitely now try to smash the door wide open to make a 3-way fight between Russell will do that now, but of course he's taking a win. But can that happen later down the season? As we now got Piastri, who's done a good job holding back Charles Leclerc throughout it late, but of course Piastri couldn't get by on Max Verstappen unfortunately. But Charles Leclerc really a bit disappointment as he tried to do something about it, but he couldn't. And Russell comes home to win the São Paulo long run for the second time this season and the second time win of the Brazil with Lando second and Attielli is going to remain in third with Max fourth, Piastri fifth and Leclerc in sixth. Come on, Dylan! Nah. Come on. I mean,
Okay,
the positive side of this, we managed to go through the entire late with the fuel in and still managed to finish. I think I'm happy about that. But just it that it happened.
We've seen a brilliant display of the Russell hustle. It's George Russell who wins. We had drama from start to finish, but in the end, there was only ever one that could take that top spot. By George, he was good today. The top step awaits for George Russell.
Well done to George Russell for winning the Brazil Grand Prix, second to their win here in Brazil, but for 1-2 race so far this season. But Russell has closed it down a little bit. The Lando Norris for the championship victory, 2 points behind by the win, and Mercedes also slowly closes down the McLaren for the Construction Championship. It is going to be a spiking ending to the season, but what can happen? Only one to come out on top of everything. So will he be? Will it be Russell, Lando, or Charles Leclerc? I'll see you in the next episode. So thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe and make the video. Do you, Rob, if I appreciate it, and peace out.